Hey guys, it's Burdii here, and today we are getting rid of this color. I'm really nervous that my hair is going to fall out. As you can see, it's still faded like the last video. Whether it's for last time or I'm going to be doing a bleach bath to try and save some of this hair. You can see like the ends are pretty fried. Top part's pretty healthy, bottoms are fried, and my fringe is pretty much dead. But yeah, so we are having a bleach bath, so I need to make my hair damp. So we have my little spray bottle of water because I really don't want to get it too wet. And then we have 20 developer for cream peroxide, and we also have freeze ice lights again. We got this. So today's bleaching and dyeing, we are answering some questions asked by my family, by friends, by mutuals on Twitter. So I'm going to split them into two sections. So if you're not in a place that you feel safe for any discussions about mental health, I'm going to make that for when I do the colouring on my dye. All the fun ones, pop culture stuff, things that shouldn't really be too triggering, are going to be while I am bleaching. And don't feel bad if you can't watch the whole thing because of that. That's perfectly okay. That's what I want my channel to be, safe for everyone. Pick and choose what you watch, how much you watch, and I'll always be honest if there's triggering stuff coming up, or tell you sort of in the beginning. So this is just water. I know the bottle says shower clean, but it was sterilized and it has no cleaning product in it. It's just water. So it's 50 grams of powder, 50 grams to 100 grams of this, and whatever we use of developer, we use of shampoo also. I'm just gonna have to do all of it at once because I think it's all gonna need about the same time. Because my hair does lift quite fast. I'm gonna avoid the fringe till the end because it literally is like so dry. I do want it quite thick on there, but I also want to take my time and make sure everything gets covered first. No going back now if my hair falls out. Why so many cats? This was my little sister, which is why it's such a weird question and a very specific question. We have 4 cats. We used to have 5, and unfortunately 2 years ago we lost our 3rd youngest to lymphoma. He's a sweet boy, and it's still very difficult to remember he's not here, if that makes sense. And then we have 4 other ones. We have Titchy, who is my cat specifically, Leo, who is Frankie, my wife's cat specifically, and then we have Bibble and Peekwood. And they all have like different coatings and different personalities, and I think that's probably why we have so many, is because cats are like, they're all so different. There's not a cat out there the same as another cat. And they're so cute and fluffy. And also they're very intelligent, like emotionally intelligent as well as intelligent. I quite enjoy teaching Bibble to do tricks. What has gotten you through lockdown? Hair. Therapy, to be honest. Therapy's been a big part of it. I'm very lucky in that one of my therapists is very trained in my specific mental health issues. The mental health team in my area, I'm very lucky that they have opted in to use NHS Attend Anywhere, which just means like Zoom calls basically. Sims 4 came back in my life recently. I've been enjoying that. I have a new gaming addiction to Overwatch. My wife played it for a while, and I wasn't like sure I wanted to play it, but now I'm addicted to it with her. I've been doing some drawing. I'm not usually a creative person in terms of art, and I'm not in the sense that I can't conjure up something from my own head, but I've really enjoyed turning photographs that I have taken. I've enjoyed turning them into drawings, like artworks that look kind of like paintings. I've really enjoyed that. So yeah, that's another one. What is your favourite thing to photograph? I'm going to be really cheesy and say nature, but specifically macro photography, like intricate detail. I especially love when it like snows and I can take like details of like the frost on the top of leaves or tree trunks. I do find it very difficult to photograph in darker weather. I don't have a steady hand like most photographers do, so it needs to be bright enough, which is the only downside. What inspires you? My wife. She inspires me. My little brother and sisters. I think especially in this pandemic, they've been especially inspiring because they've just gone on with things. They're not letting it impact them too much. Color? I want to say like colors inspire me as well. I don't know if that's a weird thing to say. How color just makes things look and feel so different compared to if it was all black and white. And I understand the pun for BPD there, but I mean maybe that is the thing, you know, if my brain's in black and white and colour isn't, you know, like I love how colours can have different temperatures and can have connotations and stir up feelings and emotions. Oh, this is working. I don't think this is working. You have a YouTube? Yes, I have a YouTube. Subscribe! If I run down and stand outside your flat, can you cut to me waving for one single frame? Yes. Make you like an Easter egg in the next video. Like if you find this person in one single frame, you can like decide the next video or pick a nice hair color or something like that. I would love that. I would love that. Why is the mitochondria the powerhouse of the cell? To be honest, I should have researched this. But I never did biology. Never did it. So I actually don't even know what mitochondria is. I know it's like actual biology, but I also know it's like what people enjoy saying to troll sometimes. Ignore the messy section and I can't be bothered, to be honest. I did get to do biology. I moved 3/4 of the way through high school to a completely different area, like a different region, a different local authority. The second school I went to had already done the biology, whereas the school I was in wasn't doing biology till the end of the year. So I had to sit and redo chemistry at the second school, and I never got to do biology, and I barely did physics either. Oof, missed a big bit. So yeah, if anyone wants to tell me why the mitochondria is the powerhouse of a cell, whatever a cell means and whatever mitochondria means, go for it. Go tell me down in the comment section, because I've always heard it and I've never known what it means. I just know it's a thing. I know it's a fact. It's life. Favorite Pokemon? I don't know. Like I've always said Togepi, but now I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to remember what the last gen was, because I feel like there's one that I really liked. Fennekin is definitely a close second from what I can remember. It really sucks that I can't remember the newest gens. Oh, Glaring Ponyta. Glaring Ponyta. Not so much Rapidash, but Glaring Ponyta. Why is Kingdom Hearts made of light, but why darkness? Kingdom Hearts is made of light because it is your childhood, and everyone's childhood is supposed to be full of happiness, and cartoons are supposed to be an escape, and people tend to cling to cartoons as a way of being somewhere where they can be anything, and cartoons are usually made in a way where you come on an adventure with them. It's not just you watching it, they're usually inviting you. Final Fantasy is about growing up, it's about having superpowers, it's about changing fates of things happening, and that's very much an adolescence thing. And then Kingdom Hearts, I think, is made for adolescents, but mainly adults play it. I'm not saying this is what they were going for, because it probably wasn't, but when you become an adolescent, the darkness starts taking over your childhood. You know, you start losing memories, or you start thinking that cartoons are too babyish, or you start growing up and realizing that things aren't just a fun cartoon, a fun video game. So I think it's all about you controlling your childhood in a way of making your transition into adulthood a little less scary. You know, like one final adventure before you enter the world of adult, or even showing you that you can still use cartoons as an adult to escape, as light, you know, is a way of getting out of something, of a place that you're stuck in. That was really deep. That's what I thought anyway. I've only played the first Kingdom Hearts and I'm a rage gamer, so I didn't quite pay attention to the story. I mainly paid attention to how many times I lost against those little impy things. I hope that's a good answer. Someone asked cats or dogs, and I think we answered that with our explanation of why so many cats. I'm aware I'm making a mess of this, but I'm at a point where I cannot be bothered. Go to comfort food. If you're not okay with your eating right now, be very mindful that this is about to be a conversation about food. My favourite comfort food. Right now, I am enjoying blue Doritos, the cool original Doritos, but I'm only having them if I'm watching a film with the wife and we share the bag. That's more of a comfort situation than just food, you know. I found these really nice yogurts, or yogurts, I don't know how people, I don't know how I'm supposed to say them. Frankie says I say it wrong. I found these really nice yogurts. They're called Miller Bliss yogurts, and they've got peach and apricot compote on the top, and the yogurt underneath has mascarpone. It has mascarpone in it, so it's a really creamy and thick snack, and it's really comforting and really filling as well. Like I had two. I usually just have two, and they're like this sort of healthy comfort food where you're like, this is yummy, this is healthy, and it just hits the spot. Favorite color, yellow. Instantly yellow. It used to be red and purple, specifically mustard yellow, which is why I was so bummed out when my orange hair didn't work and the color bled through and took my yellow away, because the whole point of that color was mainly for the yellow. Then the orange was just a little bonus to give it some dimension in my hair. Do you work? If so, doing what? I'm not. I've been signed off since 2013. I've tried college twice and I was not in a good place to handle the social aspect. I'm hoping that this becomes a career of sorts. Not necessarily one that would pay all the bills. I would like it to be just like, I mean, you can hope, but I feel like this would be the better job idea for me, because it means I can do whatever's taking my fancy at the time. The type of videos you can make is so interchangeable. One week I could be doing makeup and hair, the next week I could be doing sports or going on a blogging adventure, you know, like it's perfect for someone who doesn't know what they want in life, because I'm in a place where I don't know where my future is. I struggle a lot with knowing who I am, beyond knowing that I'm a female, that I'm Scottish, and that I'm white. Beyond that, I don't really know who I am very much, but that's something we'll talk about later. Pajama or clothes? Pajamas, but warm pajamas, specifically the ones that are like fluffy, jammy bottoms. And the main reason for that is I sleep 12 hours a day. You will not catch me going out if I do not get my 12 hours of sleep, so I mostly stay in my jammies because I have lots of issues. If you had to eat the same dinner for the rest of your life, what would it be? Diet Cola chicken. That with basmati rice, I would eat for the rest of my life. It's so filling, and it's got pretty much all your food groups, and it's just satisfying. It's like a home cooked meal that isn't home cooked. It's so, yeah. that would be, you can tell, that would be forever. That would be a forever meal. In fact, I'm having it like 3 or 4 times a week now. I love it so much. What's your favorite hair dye? Company wise, Crazy Color has become my favorite. It used to be Schwarzkopf. I can't say the name very well. It used to be them, and it used to be their XXL, and it used to be red. It's like real red or something. but now it's definitely crazy colour. And it's just crazy colour we bought on a whim after using pastels by Schwarzkopf. We used pastels, didn't work, didn't take to my hair at all. My best friends, they took us to the shopping centre. This was like well before lockdown, and they bought us Colour Crazy on the off chance it would work. We had no shits to give. The colour was so lovely. It was a peacock blue, and it had like a green shimmer in the dark parts and a golden shimmer in the lighter parts where the sun hit. So it was like not just one dimensional colour. It made my heart happy. It's probably a bad thing because now I want to dye my hair all the time and use all the colours they have. Next question. What's your favourite thing to do? I would like to pretend that it doesn't happen because I'm having breakdowns or losing sense of self, but it does, but it's still fun when we get to the colouring part. Other than doing my hair, favourite thing to do is read. My attention span's not been the best recently, so I haven't been doing it as much as I would like to, but I'm really enjoying thrillers right now. I'm a major Harry Potter fan. I love this author called Kathy Glass. She is a foster carer who writes about the children she fosters. Not all of them are inspiring, some of them are just heartbreaking, and that's so amazing that she wouldn't just make up stories to make people feel good about the system, or to make people think there's happy ever afters for everyone. It's good that she's realistic and shows that it's not made to be readable, it's made to be educational. And if anything, I think her stories probably put more pressure on at least her local authority to be better because they know she'll write about it. I think that's all our questions that are un-BPD related. I'm going to go wrap my head in cling film, and I'm going to sit for probably an hour if I can not itch that long. And this is the results of the bleaching. I did nothing. I didn't do the shampooing like I was planning to because most of it came out. For some reason, these little bits kept the most colour. Even though you'll have seen them loads of times. I'm not too fussed though. My hair is so dry and damaged, but thankfully, as always, crazy colour, conditioning in it. We are gonna rescue this hair, and I've put lots of hair oil in it. I do actually like this blend. I just don't think it suits me personally. If it was all over this colour, I think I might have sat with it for a couple of days, but I don't like it. So today's colour is bubblegum blue. I am so excited for bubblegum blue. I'm hoping it works. I'm hoping my hair takes to it. The last time I tried a pastel blue like this was Schwarzkopf. I can't say the name right. And it didn't take. Other than like right here, this random corner of hair took perfectly. Didn't take on the rest of my hair. I'm going to be using Capri Blue and probably a bit of Blue Jade to make a root colour, and I just want a root colour. I don't want it to be root to mid-length like the orange. I just really want a darker root. My hair is honestly like cheese strings. Too late to go back now. Too late to go back now. Okay, so first question. When did you realize you had BPD, and how did you feel about it? I always knew there was something mentally not right. I always just thought, it's just depression, just anxiety, I was aware of other family members who had difficulties. You'll see from my mom's video doing her hair that she was one of them that had her own issues. I got diagnosed in 2015. The intention of the appointment was a medication review, something called mirtazapine, if anyone's aware. I don't know why or how he picked up on it, but he picked up there was a lot more than just depression. At the end of this, it was only supposed to be like a 15-minute appointment, and it took an hour and a half. He said, "Have you heard of borderline personality disorder?" And I said, "No." And he said, I think you might have it. And he said, I'm not going to diagnose you because that's not what I like to do. I like for the people that are able to look after themselves, see how they feel about it, see how much they connect with, and then come back to me. And that's what we did. I went home. He said he was going to have me come in for a couple of weeks. And I went home and I read up about BPD, and instantly it felt like a connection to a part of me that I've always felt I didn't understand. It helped me understand a lot of the behaviours that I have that I didn't realise, were a part of this. You know, like it wasn't just me being awkward or me being an asshole. It was legitimately something that I couldn't control at the time, you know, undiagnosed, untreated. Do you ever think it's possible to be basically so far removed from BPD that it doesn't affect your life, or you're no longer fit the diagnostic criteria? I know that the community is a bit iffy about all that right now, and I fully get it. It's hard to get diagnosed and be told there's nothing you can do about it, or be diagnosed and told you can fix it, you can recover. I think that's the problem with there being such a lack of research into BPD, is no one knows really. Coming from my point of view, the little research that's been done has shown that BPD sufferers have a smaller amygdala and a hippocampus. Sorry, my fault this weekend. And the amygdala is important because the amygdala is what controls your emotion regulation in your brain. So knowing that it's smaller, knowing that BPD is affected, the growth of that, and I think the hippocampus is like your rationality. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that one, but I know that the hippocampus is important too. So based on that knowledge, I don't think you can fix the emotion part. I don't think you can fix and when I say fix, I mean like get rid of it completely. I don't think there's a way to ever be free of BPD. I definitely think there are plenty of therapies available that work. You know, I'm not saying they're like affordable or accessible, I'm saying available. I did a steps group. I was really lucky. The year after I got diagnosed, almost exactly a year after I got diagnosed, they were running a steps program, which is a type of DBT therapy, which is dialect and behavioural therapy, something like that. They were running a trial to see if it was worth funding, and I got invited to be a part of it, and yeah, it was amazing, to be honest. Like, I hated the fact it was a group therapy. I did not like the people there. That's probably, you know, the downside of having a bunch of people with BPD symptoms in a room. And that's the best part, is it's not just for BPD, diagnosed BPD, it's for people who have symptoms that correlate to BPD. But yeah, that literally changed how I worked with my brain, and it taught me a lot of skills that I wouldn't have otherwise, and they really changed like my relationships, my family, you know, like I'm able to handle things better, I'm able to communicate better, and that's the change that you can do, you know. And even if you aren't able to access a STEPS program or a DBT therapy, there are books on Amazon, but there are books, there are worksheets, there are a lot of things available online that really do work. It does take a lot of work, I'm not kidding. I think it was like 4 hours every week for 20 weeks minus 2 weeks or 3 weeks we had at Christmas. It wasn't just 2 hours and that's it. It was 2 hours plus working really hard on your homework for a whole week, and it took that amount of work. You know, there was a very noticeable difference between the people who tried hard and really wanted it to the people who were stubborn and thought, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to be worth it. You know, you have to know that it's going to help one way or another. The other thing is that even with steps in DBT, I still have episodes, I still have emotional issues, I still have triggers, and that's something that I've learned to accept. And I kind of hate it a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I wish there was like more I could do. And like, I'm still struggling with sense of self. A therapist, my single therapist, is trying to help me find myself basically, because I'm at a point where I don't know who I am, I don't have goals, or I'm not able to keep goals. Basically, summarize, you'll never get rid of BPD. It is a part of you that you need to come to acceptance with. You need to love the parts of you, that even the bad parts, because they were created by your brain as a way to protect you in some manner. That's the thing I'm learning in therapy this year. That's what we're focused on, is loving all the parts. But you can get better, and you can get worse after you get better. That's just, it's like I said, it's something you have to accept, and I think accepting that is part of a healing process. Do you feel your mental health issues were addressed or ignored as a teenager? And did your mental health impact you at school? I'm going to answer it both in one, because I definitely felt my mental health disappear when I hit fourth year in high school. I don't know what the equivalent is in England.
Hey guys, unfortunately I messed up the filming at this bit. I'm gonna have to keep it really short so I can fit this in between where I've been editing, which is a whole other fun thing. Basically, when I was in high school, it was not fun, it was not good, it was not a place where I could reliably go to people for help. A lot of my issues that were arising around the age of 14 were just being put down to puberty and hormones and things like that, and it really wasn't. And I don't know why people made that comparison. There was various opportunities where I had reached out to the police or to teachers or to friends, and I said, look, I'm not doing okay. And I made various attempts to show that, not just like through words but through actions, and I was basically ignored. And you know, those people really missed the mark, because if they had intervened, I think I would be in a better place now, or a better place earlier than now. And there was also one teacher who I had believed I could rely on. The minute that I came to her for help about a situation that I'll get into in another video, she let me down in the biggest way and just cemented that all people who are older than me cannot be trusted, cannot be relied on for support. Which really sucks. But yeah, I think we need like an officer who would be able to deal with those things and help people like me who needed someone to listen to them and trust them, that they knew what was going on wasn't normal. But yeah.
What is your most useful grounding technique? And what do you do to make yourself feel calm in an episode? First one, you're probably going to be sick of hearing people, especially health professionals, say this, but honest, hands down, I sleep. It really does. If you're able to sleep, it really does change things. That is so... Is that working? It's not taking to all the hair. Ugh. Sleep. Really, it resets me. Having a teddy, I have a little octopus called Noodles, and I've slept with him for several years, so he very much smells like me. He's very much a comforter. I'm just gonna hope that works. It works, we can brush through and hope for the best. no matter what works for you, it will always be something sensory. Touch, smell, sight. Talking is a good one. Taste can be tricky because I know that people tend to have eating disorders with BPD. It's all about taking away the focus on your brain, the focus on your feelings. It's about putting your brain to use somewhere else, especially if you're able to find something that does multiple. One of my favourite techniques, if my wife's with me and I'm having a particular panic, especially outside, if I'm not able to get like a sleep or a sensory object, we do the 5 to 1 method. I don't know if there's other names for it. So we have 5 things that are a colour that you can see. So 5 things that are colour red. And you have to name them. And you have to look around as much as you can. Then 4 things that you can hear. Then 3 things that you can touch. 2 things you can smell. And then 1 things you can taste, which is obviously, it can be difficult, but even if you can just say, my tongue feels dry. If you have lip balm, perhaps, or if you even carry a lip balm, put it on your lips, you can kind of taste that. But yeah, that's a good one for out and about. Otherwise, sensory toys are amazing. I know that fidget toys are pretty big, again, not just fidget spinners, but fidget toys. So it'd be good for you to have like a look through that, see if there's any that you would be able to use. And the biggest thing to do to calm yourself down is get yourself out of that situation one way or another, because you'll find it easier to handle something if you just take a step back, if you can. Sometimes I'll go through the room by myself if I'm having an episode with my wife, or I'll turn my phone off, or I'll leave a chat group if I'm particularly struggling with someone that's in that group, or I'll block someone just so that I'm not in a place to have an episode at them. That sort of thing, if that makes sense. Right, one side done, and I'm running out of questions, which is fine, I suppose, because you don't want to sit here and watch me do this for ages. The last question, which I haven't been sure of how to answer, is what's the hardest part of having BPD? I don't know how to answer it because I don't know how much I am ready to share yet. I think the hardest part of having BPD is that I hurt the people around me. Sometimes when I'm struggling to follow the steps program that I had learned, and sometimes when I'm struggling to keep a handle on myself, I hurt people that I love and care about. Because like, if I'm hurting myself in any way, it's me, you know, it's me that's hurting. That's the part of life, you know, you're gonna hurt yourself one day or another, whether it's physical, emotional, etc. Whereas like hurting other people, you know, they didn't sign up for this. My wife especially didn't sign up for this. You know, when we got together, I didn't know I had BPD, and I don't think it's fair on her that she got lumped with someone with BPD. Yeah, I'm just gonna use my hands. I can't be bothered. I cannot be fucked. I like to think of there being like 2 people in my brain. My therapist is working on me having like a bunch of people in my brain. Not DID, but like a schema, which is like a whole other thing, which is worth looking into if you have PTSD things going on. But I like to think of there being me, which is the person in control of this body, and then there's BPD me, who is mostly in control of my mouth in an episode, because sometimes my mouth will say things I don't want to say, and I can like hear my brain argue and say like, we don't want to say that, and then another part of my brain argue and say, we do want to say that, we have to say that, you will say that. And it, you know, it all comes back to hurting the people that I love and care about. But that's like the personal. You know, if I wasn't to think about others and I was to think about me, it's the fact that sometimes I'm not even in control of myself. But yeah, that should be it. And I'm going to do my eyebrows and then we are going to sit with this for an hour. So yeah, we'll check back in an hour. So this probably isn't the reveal you thought you were going to get. Obviously my hair is not blue. Obviously you could probably tell this isn't my hair. It's a wig. It's a very nice wig. I like this one, but it is not my hair. I was pretty much sure I'd done 1 to any bleaches by the time I started adding the blue. I could feel that there was such a big difference in my hair. I put on the blue, washed it out. It wasn't what I wanted, and then my hair took about 5-6 hours to dry. And while my hair was wet, it was really gummy, so it was like an elastic band, you know, and it was knotting all the time, and it just didn't feel like my hair anymore. And it was only this side of my hair. This side was like obviously damaged and a little bit gummy, but it wasn't doing the elastic thing. It wasn't knotting and coming out in clumps. Whenever I would try and like brush it or try and use my hands to try and like untangle my hair, I would just brush my hair. There would be so much hair on the brush, and I knew that was it. You know, that was the point where I realized I had done fucked up. So my next option, I combed over my hair, tied the sides and the back at the back, and it looked really nice with the sort of big comb over scene style hair. And I just went for it. I had a complete hair breakdown, just went for it. I have one photo. I might put it up somewhere, one of these corners, where you can see what I did. And it wasn't too bad, but I made it really patchy because we don't have a hair shaver, like our hair razor. I don't know what you call them. And it took me probably like 5 hours to go from I really like my hair like this is really cool, to I hate it, I want it off my head. And the next day I gave up and chopped it all off as much as I could with hair scissors, and then me and Jessica came in here and we shaved my head with a woman's razor, and I was bald, like completely bald. I was kind of feeling yucky, and I'm really struggling with like the feeling a bit more masculine than normal. However, I think the reset is going to be really good for my hair. Finding these wigs, which are like reasonably priced on Amazon, I think is going to be a bonus, because I think I'm going to get a couple colours, and then maybe that will help with the self-image thing, because then I can just pick a different wig, you know. Since we've been in the house because of COVID, we've not really been going out anyway, so I've not really had a wig on. So I want to be able to like just have a look and pick a colour, any colour that I want, have fun with it, and hopefully that will help. My hair should come in healthier. This is actually pretty close to my hair colour anyway. I'm not sure what hairstyles I'm going to go with for my short hair when it comes in. I know that's going to be a problem for me. Maybe I will most definitely be going to hairdressers and not trying to do it myself this time. The part between the blue hair being done and this part that I'm filming right now has been about 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks. I've not been doing well mentally. A lot's been going on in my life that has been difficult to deal with and process. I'm also having a break from therapy in the way that my therapist, she's on her paid leave, her paid holiday leave. So I'm also having like an extra 2 weeks where I don't have therapy, so I'm definitely more on edge as well, knowing that like that support's not there for an extra 2 weeks. But it's good she told me beforehand, so we have things in place. Just I'm very awkward about using those things. That might set me back a little bit. And then there was some I'm going to call it family drama, which is sorted now, sorted today. But which is probably why I'm able to do this actually. I'm really like in a I could go either way place right now. So I'm hoping that by filming this with the makeup on, which I know isn't the best makeup that I've ever done, but it's at least makeup, I'm hoping that this is like the end of this part of the year so far, because I know we're coming towards the end of February already, and I want this to be like, I want this to be like, this is the end of hair breakdown Burdii, bad self-image Burdii, no sense of self Burdii, and I really want like to start building up this YouTube, building up my Twitch, which we got affiliate for, by the way. I'll link it down below if you want to join me next time I stream. I do Overwatch, Sims, or Phasmophobia. God, I have a feeling I'm going to be out of focus. If I'm out of focus, I clearly haven't learned from my first video. I'm going to do a bald head reveal, so we can sort of like monitor where it's going and coming, and I think this is going to be like a big step for me to show you my hair. Oh, I'm actually nervous. Okay. Okay, you ready? I feel like I could like roleplay as my dad. I don't know. If I had like a stronger jawline, I feel like this would be a look. Yeah, I can't wait for it to go back. You can already see it looks hell hairy. You can see it's sort of the same colour. Let me know what you think of both the wig and this monstrosity. Yeah, leave me any suggestions you've got for the next video. I hope to catch some of you on my next Twitch stream, and I don't know how to say bye.